coming tonight for the fall sports parent meeting. I appreciate you guys coming. There's a lot of important information that we want to get to you guys. There's a lot of changes going on in athletics this year, and I want to update you guys. I want to get you guys introduced to what we do here at RBB for those veterans who have seniors, maybe what's changing, and then where we're kind of a vision to go from there. I want to introduce myself first. My name is Tim Fay. I'm the athletic director here. This is my first year. I'm not new to RBB though. I've been at RBB since 2000. I taught history. I taught ASP. I did a character grant for a while. And so I know this campus. I'm a Longhorn through and through. And I'm looking to take the athletic department to the next level here at RBB to make it even better than what it already is from the previous directors who were before me. So I'd also like to introduce a couple other people who are here today. This is our principal, Dr. Jose Villarreal. That there is our athletic trainer, and our athletes did not get ruined. That's Mary Lee Alexander. She does a lot for you guys' kids, for your student athletes, and she keeps them healthy, she gets nice, she gets it going, and we'll talk about a little bit more of the role of the athletic trainer here. And unfortunately tonight, Sam Eshelman, our assistant principal over athletics, he can't be here tonight because of a sick child. So if he is over athletics, if you can talk to somebody in admin, then start with Mr. Eshelman for athletics. So to kick it off, just to say a couple of words, I'll give the turn over down to our principal, Dr. Mead.
Thank you. Good evening, Leonis. I'm Dr. Villarreal. Nice to have you here. 20 years ago, I was here as an assistant principal when we had 3,400 students. It was a small city here, and it was wild, I'll be honest with you. But I'm back. I love the ranch. I was lucky enough to leave here and go open Mr. Magnet Middle School. It's where my son currently goes in 7th grade. I have a 10th grade son as well. So I know how you feel right now as parents. My son is trying out for JV basketball, and he just picked up the ball a year ago. And I don't want to break his heart. But high school ball is tough. It's not soul basketball. Anybody familiar with that organization? It's not boys and girls basketball. It's high school basketball. So I feel you. I understand. I'm in your chair, nervous for him. But he's got big dreams of the NBA. Son, you're not 6'8". He's got a big old heart. And I love him to death. And he's trying his best. And that's all I'm going to ask of you. As a father, I've been to his games. I really badly will have my opinions about certain people on the sidelines. Perhaps the opposing team. Perhaps the people in stripes. But I remember I am a father. I'm all heart with my kids. So I get where you're at. If you look at this piece of paper right here, the one that has this QR code, turn it over to the other side. This July, we launched a Respect the Ranch Coaching Summit for our coaches. First time we've ever done it. It's an idea that I brought to the table that Mr. Fay joined along and said, I want to do that too, let's go. So we hosted about 60% of our coaches in the summer. We're going to get them trained over the next course of the next couple months. But we had some honest conversations about gender in sports. Students who are transitioning, it's real, it's here, you get it. Our coaches have to understand what that means. Girls want to try out for baseball, football. We want to be able to be accepting of that. We want coaches to understand how the world is working right now, beyond strikes and outs and goals and being in the water. So you have to understand that we're trying to prepare our coaches for what is our society today and how we can help all of our students here at RBB. What you see here is step 2. Step 2 is a compact for coaches and players. It's in Spanish and English. These are our values here at RBB. Our values are integrity, responsibility, and commitment. I've been in senior classrooms already, reminding them of those values. I'll be in 10th grade and 11th grade classes next, reminding them of those values. I already saw freshmen on Friday, reminding them of those values. It is important, but it also happens on the field as well. You are not different because you can suit up. You are not different because you're on varsity. In fact, I expect more from you. If you put that Longhorn on your chest or on your back, I have a higher regard for you and more expectations. Do not embarrass us outside of the community on social media. Don't do that. I'm already comfortable with memes. There's a lot of them with me. They're good and bad. They love me and hate me, but that's okay. You know, it's a thin line between love and hate. Wrote a beautiful song back in the day. But it's real. But I'm not here to be their friend. I'm not here to be their parent. I'm here to lead them and to guide them. And sometimes I have to be a parent, a big brother. Sometimes I have to be, and that's why I'm here. But this is a guide for all of you. Please lean on this, put it on your refrigerator and say, this is what we expect. This is what he expects, Mr. Fay expects. All the coaches expect of you as an athlete, a scholar athlete. It starts in the classroom first. Not on the field, not on the pitch, not in the water. It's in the classroom first. If you don't have the grades, you can't play. So stay organized. I told my son last night, 10th grade, he's doing honors English. I said to him, plan ahead, son, you're going to miss basketball practice. No, I'm not. What happened last night? He missed basketball practice. It was a reality hit. This project's bigger than I thought. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So here we are. So just remember that these values are really important. One last thing, and I'll pass the mic. You will have opinions about coaches. I get it. You're going to have concerns about playing time. I've seen it. Start with your coaches first. Have a conversation. Don't jump to me, because what I'm going to say to you is, have you talked to the coach? Have you talked to our athletic director? Have you talked to Mr. Eshelman? I have. Okay, then let's work through the process. We have to honor what the coaches need and desire, and we want to hear your voice. We get it. But I just told you a story about my NBA player at home. Right? He should start every game, even though he barely dribbles. He can't shoot three. He should be the starter. Because I'm a father. When it comes to my children, I don't think rationally. I think rationally. As a principal, I'm pretty rational. As my son, forget about it. So I get it. But communicate. Mr. Fay is fantastic. He's a community member. Been here for a long time. Longhorns are going to improve. Our coaches are great. We wouldn't put people in front of you as coaches. We take responsibility. If you have feedback for us, fine. Give it to our athletic director. We'll work on it. But we're really proud. One last thing. I met with freshmen, class of 2026, I believe, on Friday. I said, look around. Look at all these championships. What's missing here are band championships, academic league championships. What do you want to contribute? And it was pretty amazing to hear these freshmen have big dreams. I quoted it in an email I sent to the staff. Jay Sean said, I want to use my knowledge and skill to help young athletes and young students. Jesus said, I want to bring a cross-country championship to RPB. All right, let's go. So I'm really excited about our freshmen that are coming through. Freshman parents, raise your hand. You've done a great job. Senior parents, raise your hand. You've done a great job up in the classrooms. I can't wait to see the 10th and 11th. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Dr. Mead. All right, so my plan is about, get out of here in about 20 minutes, okay? I just got some things that I want to share with you guys that our athletic department has a philosophy. We have a vision. The coaches share that vision with myself and Dr. B and Mr. Eshelman. Okay, I just want to kind of go over some things with you guys so that you understand what athletics is here at RPB. Okay? One, I want to say thank you for coming out. This is probably the best turnout we've had in the last 10 years for a parent night. So thank you guys for coming. It shows a lot of how much you care, not only about student athletes, but about our school, and to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because when we're all on the same page, it's the best thing for not only the school, but it's the best thing for your student athletes. Okay? So the philosophy, if you look at one of the handouts, it's the Pyramid of Success for Rancho Buena Vista Athletics. That is my philosophy as an athletic director. I met with 99.8% of the head coaches on this campus last spring and over the summer. So I had a couple more of the spring coaches to do this fall. And this is the first thing I start with, so that to make sure that we are all on the same page. Okay? The bottom of that page is our foundation. It's character. If we as student athletes, if we as coaches don't have character, we've already failed, in my opinion. Character is one of the number one things. You can be talented, all the talent in the world, and I've seen scholarships get pulled because of the character of student athletes. So that's the foundation of what we're doing. The next lineup is about planning and doing games and all that kind of stuff. This is for the coaches, to make sure that they're ready to go. Because if the coaches are ready to go, and they're playing and they're organized, then we're good to go. The practices are going to be crisp. Instead of, how many of you guys played sports and you had 4-hour practice back in the day when you were a kid, and you're like going, wow, this could have been done in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay? So I can go over with the coaches, and this is part of our plan to do it. And we look at the strength and conditioning and agility, and look at that part of it. And we look at scheduling. Scheduling is a huge part in practices of making sure that we put our student athletes on the field against equal competition. We're a D3 school on average, Division III. We shouldn't be playing a bunch of powerhouses in D1 and open divisions. It does nothing for our students. It does nothing for them. If we upset them, it helps us in the power rankings. But it also deflates their confidence because they just get beat up all the time. So we got to make sure we are scheduling correctly. So we talk about that. Then the last two things are about their future and their academics. That's why I took the top. They're students first, student athletes, which then goes to the development of the student athlete. That's what our core value is. We're not just developing athletes here. That comes. Our coaches are good. They will teach your son or daughter the skill of whatever sport they're playing. They will put them in a position to be successful on the court. But the second part of that is the student. And the students have to do that. Student athletes. So that's why it's up to the top. We got to build the whole student. So when they graduate from Rancho, they're not only a good athlete, but they're also a student, and they can provide for us in our community into the future. Okay, so I just want to share with you guys my philosophy of where we're going and what I share with my coaches and what their philosophy is with it. Okay? I want to say thank you to all of you for going through a brand new process that we brought in this year on the online physical clearance. I know some of you guys are probably screaming at the computers and trying to figure it out, but it is the cleanest that it's ever been. I've coached here for 15 years and taking 7, 8, 9, 12 different papers, first day of tryouts, all that kind of stuff, that's done. So the online, I want to thank you guys for going through that. Hopefully you remember your username and password, because for your younger student athletes in here, you guys would just log back in next year, update your information, and upload your new physical, and you're done. Okay? So I want to thank you guys for that, and I appreciate it. We have a brand new athletics website for information. One of the biggest things is that I had got coming in from the community with people that I knew who lived in this community, and they knew I was athletic, they said, we don't know anything about your athletics. So one of the first things that Mr. Usherman and myself did when I got the job back in March was we started a brand new website, and we launched it in May. If you go to our school website and click on athletics, it automatically goes to it. On the front side of the paper, opposite of the student compact, is our website, if you haven't been to it, rbbathletics.com. On that, you can find coaches' emails. There's a whole list of all the head coaches with their emails. Click on coaches. There are a team page for every team. Some of them are still in development because I'm waiting for stuff, but most of them are done. So that's a good thing, so you can see what's going on. There's a link to Max Preps. All coaches are supposed to be reporting their scores to Max Prep. So if you want to know what's something going on in another sport that your student athlete's not in, you can go and check and click on it. Tryout information is on one of the tabs. So hopefully you guys are able to find that. For the winter sports, as soon as I get the information, I'll do the same thing. There's a calendar of games, and it's updated. So you can go and click on their calendar, and it has the whole month's worth of games for every level of athletics. Okay, and there's also, for those who have to purchase tickets for your sports, football, basketball, volleyball, and wrestling, there's a link to GoFan. And we're doing online tickets. So you buy your tickets before you even come here, and you guys can get going. Okay, so the website is a one-stop shop. So please, if you have any questions or you need to get a hold of me, or Mr. Eshelman, or the trainer, Mr. Alexander, there's an email link. Some of you guys have already used it with me, and you just click on it, send us an email, and we get it. Okay? Same thing with your coaches. There's a link to your coaches to send them an email also. So I mentioned online ticketing already, so we are going to do online ticketing. We still are doing in-person tickets also. So if you only have cash and you're not one of those people who likes to put your credit card out there and stuff like that, there is a $1 service charge that's added onto your ticket purchase. That's what pays for the service, because we pay nothing for the service. It's just the service charge that the company uses. So online ticketing, it's great. If you guys want to use it, it's there. But we will also, for volleyball and basketball and football and wrestling, we'll still have in-person people if you guys have cash and you're more comfortable using cash. All right, transportation. So I know I talked to a couple of teams already about transportation. We do have transportation this year, very limited. Okay? So transportation. So transportation this year is most sports will get buses for some games. This is the criteria that we have. Okay, and I'll explain why we have this criteria. There's going to be no weekend buses. There's going to be no tournament buses. So if you're going to a tournament, we're not going to send them even though it might be down in Chula Vista. We're doing a 10-mile radius rule. So if there's a school that we play within 10 miles of Rancho, we're not using a bus. Here's the reason why. We got $40,000 for transportation from the district to spend on transportation. It costs $137,000 to send every team level to their away game, to every away game. So we can't. We gotta limit it. Okay? So we're gonna provide some transportation. Okay? We're trying to get to those that are the longer drives so that we don't have people driving long distances and stuff like that. So there is transportation. The district is, I do have to say one thing about our district right now, and Dr. Doyle, is he supports athletics. For the first time ever last year, we actually got a district athletic budget, which means that the district gave us money within their hundreds of $1 million of budget to dedicate just to athletics. They did the same thing this year. They promised it for next year, and then we'll see what happens on going from there. But he's dedicated. They dedicated to putting money in for transportation, and he admits it's not enough, but it's a starting point. Okay? So the district is committed to athletics, and with that money, we're able to do a lot of different things for our student athletes, and I'll get into that in a little bit. If you are not going to, if your student athlete goes on a bus and you want to take them home from the game, I am creating a form right now that will be available that needs to be filled out 48 hours before the game and returned to me to have your student go home with you, if you want that. Honestly, one of the best things as a player and also as a coach here, the bus rides is probably the best team bonding experience any team can have. No matter win or lose. Sometimes it's louder when the teams lose. It kind of makes the coach, it makes us mad. But at the same time, that's the team bonding. And you can ask any student who went here at Rancho and some of the bus rides they have. I can tell you a lot of stories from the baseball bus rides that I had with the varsity teams. It's crazy. Watching 17, 16-year-old kids argue about who's bringing the snackos on the ride home from the bus. And if you didn't bring your snackos, you were going to run. Like they were policing themselves. It was kind of amazing. So the bus ride is a team bonding experience. So please remember that when you go to ask for them to come home with you. they're missing out on that bonding experience, and that's really, really important. So if it's try to limit that if you guys can, okay? So the budget. So a lot of people don't understand athletics and where we get money to do things. In the past, we got no money from the district at all. Okay, like I said, this past year and this year and next year, we will have money coming from the district to buy equipment, uniforms, supplies, maybe improve some facilities, okay? And that's remarkable. A lot of districts do not do that. They get maybe $30,000. But think about what it takes to truly run an athletics program. Uniforms are on a 3 to 4 year basis. They should be on a rotation. Uniforms for home and away, uniforms for varsity team roughly cost around $3,000 to $5,000 for an average team. Okay, usually that was fundraised by you parents for the team to do it. We're now able to pay for that with the district money. Okay, tournaments. We have to have a certain amount of games for our teams to be CIF eligible for their sport. I can now pay for some of those varsity tournaments and take that off the back of the fundraising efforts that you guys are doing. And that can go more directly to the student athletes. Okay? So the one budget that we have is that budget. Another budget is our ticket revenue. Our ticket revenue is run through our ASB, and I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Perez. Mr. Perez, please wave. There you go. Mr. Perez is our new ASB director. Okay? And the ticket revenue goes to ASB. What does that money go to? So all that money goes to officials. Officials last year cost $41,000 to pay for every sport that we played, game that we played here. Athletic security, $21,000. So that's $60,000 right there that's coming away from the ticket revenue. Okay, ticket revenue is right around $60,000. So people sit there and go, well, you know, why does football get all that money and what do they do with it? They don't get it. It goes to all the sports to pay for the officials, pay for security, okay, to pay for some facility upgrades when we need it, on emergency cases, when the gym leaks and we got to fix it really quick. Okay, so you got an ASB budget. And we have a third budget for the first time last year and now this year because of our new principal. And we've never had this before. And last year, Coach Nellis, you guys know Coach Nellis, he was here for 15 years as athletic director, and he was here, one of the original Longhorn, and coached a great wrestling coach. And our principal gave us money out of the discretionary fund, the site fund, which is huge. That's unheard of. And we were able to it's unheard of to get discretionary money, because that's also money that needs to go for toilet paper and hand towels and supplies for the departments and all that kind of stuff. And he figured it out in the budget and was able to find a way to etch out a little bit of money to help do things. This year with discretionary money, we're hoping it gets approved. It's been submitted. We're hopefully with the softball and the baseball field, we're going to get a sound system out there with that money. We're getting a new scorer's table. This one's had its day. So we're getting a new scorer's table with that money. Okay, so that's the key thing that you guys need to understand. We are slowly improving things, and it's still, we're short a lot of money. Your programs are still short a lot of money. So when your coaches are asking you guys to fundraise, it's not just because they want to do it. It's actually, as a coach, we hate fundraising. It's the worst thing as a coach, asking you guys for money. Okay? But we're able to do things now with that money that we weren't able to because we have these new pockets of money. I purchased all the balls this year for every sport. Soccer ball is the most expensive ball. $115 for the ball that the CIF group you have to have to play. And they don't give us the $115. Baseballs. You need a lot of them, especially when there's a construction site and you might not get your balls back. Softball, same thing. Okay? It's a lot of money. But we were able to purchase all the balls for them. That used to be purchased from the coaches, from your fundraised money. Now with the fundraised money, you guys might be able to do something else with it. Might be able to get some nice sweatshirts. Might be able to do something. I don't know what they have planned. But I just want to let you guys know that money is not falling off the trees. We're trying our best to update our facilities like crazy here. I'm fighting to get a brand new gym here. It's not fighting with Dr. B. It's fighting with the district to let them know this is 35 years old. We have a leaky roof. We had a flood here that went all the way down here and water seeps up when it gets to a certain temperature. So we gotta get going with this, and we got a plan. So trust us. I just want to let you guys know. We got a plan. We're moving forward. We're trying to get everything updated. It might take 5 years, but it's there. Because hopefully, slowly, if you have a freshman, you will see slowly the progression of improving the facilities here. Okay. We are an Under Armour school, if you do not know. We entered into an agreement with Under Armour 2018, right before COVID hit. And basically what it is Under Armour gives us a reduced rate for uniforms. We worked out a deal with them, and they give us the college deal. So all the uniforms that we are buying right now are Under Armour, and we get them at 40% off. Okay, so it's a really good deal. We get a really good deal on Under Armour. And so we are an Under Armour school. Next year will be our last rotation for programs to get new uniforms. So after next year's seasons, it will be everybody, every varsity sport that Under Armour provides will be in Under Armour uniforms. And that'll be the first time at the school that we all have the same color maroon for our uniforms. We all look alike. So that's a good thing. That's why we also entered into this agreement, was for that reason. Okay? So I just want to let you guys know that. Your coaches also get, if they order stuff through Under Armour, they get the 40% off for their spirit pack and all that kind of stuff. So there's good deals for them to get everything for you guys also. Almost done. As Dr. B said, communication. Communication is a huge thing on my part. It's why I created a website. I come from a place where I don't know if you don't tell me. So my goal as an athletic is to make sure you guys know what's going on. Okay? So please make sure you guys check that website. And as Dr. B said, if you guys have issues with your coaches, okay, please talk to your coach. Okay? We coach them up as, you gotta talk to your parents. Parents have to talk to you. It's okay. So please go to them. Okay? We do, as Dr. B said, we're not going to talk about playing time. That's a coach's discretion. Okay? If I get something that comes to me after you talk to the coach and I hear the word playing time, I'm going to end the conversation. Okay? So please make sure you guys understand that part of it. I know we all want, I have a daughter, a senior here, who's playing a sport. I want her to play as much as possible. But if she doesn't earn it, she doesn't earn it. Okay? So just make sure that we have that line of communication. Talk to your coach. If you're not happy with what kind of that conversation, come to me. If you're not happy with what I say, you go to assistant principal, and we'll just keep going up the chain until hopefully you're happy. Okay? So yeah, please come and talk to us. I've already talked to a couple of parents on a couple of things, and if we stop right there, the conversation's good, everybody left the office, we're all good to go. Okay? So please communicate with the correct chain of command. It'll just make everybody's life easier. Commitment. So that's one of our values as a program, and for freshmen, and I know that a lot of freshman parents in here, for freshmen, it's different. We have practice every day. You need to be at practice every day if you're going to play. We have games at night. Okay, hopefully your coach is giving you guys your schedule so you guys can hash out your guys' schedule. Now I understand life happens, but if your son or daughter, a student athlete, committed to playing for our school, playing for the program that they are in, they got to honor that commitment. Okay, so please help us as an athletic department by talking to your student athlete about commitment if they start kind of wavering or something. For freshmen, it's really hard because with rec sports, travel ball sometimes, you know, you can go in and out when you want and all this other kind of stuff. So here, you gotta be committed, okay? Hopefully you don't plan any vacations during the season. It's not as bad during the fall sports, but with winter and spring sports, if you guys have your student athlete plays spring or winter sport, Christmas break, spring break, there's a lot of games going on, especially varsity level. Okay, there's major tournaments during that time. So just make sure you guys understand that. And please be committed to your guys' program. Last couple things here. Taking care of your body. Please help us. And I know you guys already do this. If you don't, let's get going on it. Talk to your student athletes about taking care of their bodies. Okay? Nutrition and sleep patterns are important for their development. Talk to them about it. Okay? Just talk to them. And I understand you got academics, you got sports, they might be working, you got commitments to family. Okay? Let's talk to them. Nutrition and sleep is important. They can't be eating hot Cheetos and a Gatorade every day from the student store here. And that's their lunch. I've seen it for the last 8 years. It's what freshmen buy. And they keep coming back. That's great for our budget, but not for their bodies, okay? So make sure that you talk to them about what to eat. We got free lunches, free nutrition. Make sure they get something, okay? Actually, the food here is actually not that bad. Balance of life. Just talk to them about balancing life. They're in high school now. They're young adults, coming to be young adults. Some of you guys have seniors who are going to be going to college or going on their own next year. Just talk about them about balance of life. Okay? If your student athlete unfortunately gets injured, one, we have a great athletic trainer I already introduced you to, Mary. She can only be in one place though. Okay? She gets put at the priority of what the risk management of the Athletic Trainers Association says where she should be for priorities. So there are a few days here this season. We have 5 games going on at one time. Mary cannot be in 5 places at one time. Okay, but she has a radio, she has her phone, coaches have her number. She would be within 2 minutes on this campus. Unless you're a water polo player, she's farther away. Call 911. Because they'll get there quicker than Mary. So, but she will get there. Okay? But she might not be right there at the time of entry. And the last thing we want to hear is, well, where was the trainer? Okay, well, the trainer's doing other things. There's other sports going on campus. Okay? So please understand, our priority is safety. Her priority, number 1, is safety. And she makes sure that the student athletes are ready to go and clear. And before they go back in, they have to clear her protocols that she has. Okay? If you get injured and you go to a doctor, and a doctor takes them out for, let's just say, 2 weeks, that needs to be turned into the athletic trainer. Make copies of it, please. You keep a copy. Give a copy to your coach. Give a copy to the trainer. Send one to me. Okay? When they are released, we need to have a note from the doctor that says they are released as of so-and-so date. If we get a note that says they are out for 2 weeks, but then we never get a release note, we cannot release them legally. Okay, so please make sure you guys understand that. If you take them to a doctor and the doctor takes them out, only the doctor can release them. Okay? If it's just a sprained ankle and you're getting treatment from Mary and stuff like that, she can clear them that way because you need to go to a doctor. She's watching them, she's taking care of them, she's rehabilitating them, she goes through the tests and stuff like that. She can release them then to that. But once you go to a doctor, then we need a doctor to release them. Please understand that. Okay? So a couple of new things that we're going to be bringing to the campus this year with the athletic department. The first thing is I'm going to be doing an academic study hall. Once we get our first grading period, we'll get identified some students who need possibly some help. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays before school in the library, we have a study hall, and I will be in there, and I'm going to work with some groups on this campus to get tutors in there to help these student athletes who need some extra help academically. Okay, so we'll start that this year for the first time. And then the second thing, which is one of my goals to get going this year, is I want to do seminars for you guys. Meeting the PhD or the lecture hall or something like that. Just about random topics about athletics. One of the biggest ones is playing at the next level. I think a lot of people don't understand, one, how to get their student athlete to the next level. Two, what it does take to get your student athlete to the next level. And three, it's not the coach's job here at Rancho to get your student to the next level. They will support, they will help, but they're not going to get them a scholarship. And I want to help educate you guys by doing that, because it's a team effort. It's the coach, it's the player, you guys, it's the school. Okay, and I want to educate you guys on this. So my goal is probably in the spring is to do some of these kind of seminar classes to help you guys out. If you really want to, there's a lot of places to go. A lot of colleges that are looking for players. But you got to find them. You got to do some work. And I have tools to do that for you guys, to help you guys out. Okay? That's all I got. Comments or questions? Anything? All right, I'll hang out for a little bit. And, there are some teams here. Field hockey, did you guys already meet?
Yes.
With parents? Yeah. Okay, you're good. Actually, here, Luke, can you stand up? So this coach, Swain, I can't say your last name. Swain. Okay, he's our new field hockey head coach. He comes from South Africa. He played professionally in South Africa. He is a NCAA Division I and SEC, ACC referee. He comes from a really good background. He's our field hockey coach this year. He's being helped out by two RBD grads, actually three RBD grads, Sandy, Fran, and Rachel Schneider. Joe, let's stand up. I know Joe's already met with you guys. It's Joe Milo. He's one of the varsity coaches. He's running the program there. Okay, we appreciate Joe. Mr. Perez, who not only does ASP and tech on this campus, but he also wants to run a little bit, and he already coaches the cross-country team with Eric committed. Next to Mr. Perez is Coach Williams. He's our girls tennis coach. So if you're on the tennis team, she's going to meet with you guys, so maybe you guys she'll get you guys in the stands over here. And cross-country is going to meet. You already met. Football's already met. Golf, he's not here, he's at a match, that's why. So I want to thank you guys. If you guys have any questions, please email me, or you can come talk to me right now. Thank you guys.